So I am back from Odododio. Don't ask me if I visited the toilet. We do it every day, don't we? But we're pretending. I'm here to check out the messages that you're sending. But let's talk computer. It's like an advert, but it isn't. The school selection and placement system is such a headache to some parents. I know. This year's exercise has had its share of controversies. Some candidate posted to schools where they were refused admission, for instance. The reason, some say inadequate accommodation facilities. We've tried to tackle some of the issues here, even on our show, but obviously a lot more still remains to be done. So far, officials say some 431,310 candidates, representing about 98% of the 440,112 who wrote this year's BEC, have been placed in senior high and technical institutions. Do you still have your ward not placed? Well, this conversation is definitely for you, because we're told that some heads say they have some 464,997 vacancies in their institutions. Really? Maybe you're asking. Where are the schools and how can we enroll our wards? I say these are legitimate questions. Now, let's find some answers, shall we? Let me introduce to you Mr. Kwesi Anoche. He's a systems administrator of the computerized school placement system. He joins me live in studio. So good morning.
Good morning.
Can we start by looking for the schools that you say are available?
Yeah, we have a lot of them. But let me correct this. The 460,000 vacancies is not what is left now. Oh. Was what was declared at the beginning of the exercise.
Okay.
So we filled some of the vacancies. We are still left with some schools who are yet to be filled, including the approved private senior high schools and technical institutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have some government schools left.
Yeah, we have some government schools left.
Do we have a number to the schools that are available?
Yeah, the total vacancies, I can't give a figure now, but across all the regions, we have schools, government schools, that still have places for candidates who are willing to go.
But you know, parents are looking for the Wesley girls, the Presex and things like that. Do you still have vacancies in this high schools, if you like?
That is the issue now. Why will you be looking for such schools now when you know we've already completed admission there? Why will you be looking for those schools now when you have already been placed in schools that your performance took you there? That is the issue. Those schools, as I talk to you now, are completely filled up. And they have even started the academic term. But we have skill schools. Parents will choose schools that they know their worst performance will not be able to take them there. But behind the scenes, they know they have the influence. They may be able to influence the system. That is the issue. That is the attitude we are adopting. And at the end of the day, we will come out and say the system is not working. But I can tell you the system is able to satisfy over 90% of the candidature that we always place in schools.
Is there issues with the computer, as in the computerized system?
Yeah, definitely there's no system anywhere that there will not be issues. There's no 100% perfect system anywhere. We have challenges. And let me tell you some of our challenges. Our major challenge is what we call the uneven choice pattern, as you said. We have over 12,000.
A lot more people wanting the popular schools.
Yes, we have over 12,000 candidates choosing a certain school, one particular school, which can admit a maximum of 400 candidates. And this 12,000 candidates is skewed towards some few regions. You have, let me be blunt about this. The school I'm talking of is Wesley Girls Senior High School. The school, 30% of the vacancies declared by the school, including all the schools in Cape Coast, are reserved for those who schooled in Cape Coast. So 70% is given out to the rest of the country. And it is not only schools in Cape Coast, it's schools across the country. If we have a school in Accra like Achimota, 30% of the vacancies are reserved for candidates who schooled within 10-mile radius of Achimota.
That's the plan?
That is the policy.
Okay.
Underlining the placement system. So we do two kinds of placement. We have the 70% and we do the 30%. The 70% is purely on merit, where you and I, if we want that school, we choose our raw scores will take us there. But the 30%, if I schooled within 10-mile radius of Pope John Senior High School, which is in Koforidua, I will enjoy 30% advantage over Mama V coming from Accra.
But should you make the necessary grades?
Exactly. And even the 30%, it's not like any grade you go there. It is also computed on merit, because you always have candidates, more candidates being choosing the 30% as against the vacancies that will be filled for the 30%. So if the 30% is like 30 spaces for the school, you have about 50 people competing for the 30 spaces. So that one, you have to run it on merit also. That is what happens. And that is what we do, we've been doing since 2005. But at the end of the day, grandmother went to Achimota, mother went to Achimota. So at all costs, Baby Last must also go to Achimota. When we know the performance of Baby Last doesn't merit Achimota, that is the situation.
But we've come across people who had very good grades, and they still are not able to go to the school of their choice.
I mean, how do you define very good grades? Me sitting here, I don't know the grades of candidates. What I know is the actual marks they got in the exams. The 90%, the 90 over 100 you got, the 92 you got in mathematics, the 80 you got in English, the 70 you got in science. The 4 core subjects compulsory: English, mathematics, science, and social studies. 90 can give you a grade 1. 99 can give you a grade 1. Between these two people, if there's one space left in Adisada College, which one will you send there, Mama V, if you were the one doing the placement?
But per the placement, you're going to take the 91?
99 got grade 1.
90, okay, so you're going to go with 99.
Exactly. The 90 will be left, who will be taken to the second choice. But definitely, if you see the one, you say it is a good grade who has been left out. We start the placement from the highest raw score. This year it was 502 over 600.
502 over 600.
It is always over 600.
It's interesting you tell us, but I went for a PTA meeting and I'm not sure the school was the same space, because they didn't know how you put the whole marks together and how you arrive at that.
There's no senior high school or technical vocational school head who has been a headmaster for the past 3 months and it's not abreast with how we do the placement. Every year there is a CHAS meeting. They rotate it by region. This year, me sitting here, I was there in Tamale with CHAS. I took my time to take them through the processes we go through. And we meet, sometimes we meet them on regional basis. So there's no head who is not even, or even if you were not able to attend the conference, who at any point in time, if you call for the individual raw marks of any candidate you doubt, that will not be given to you.
How about the JHS level?
We give copies to the JHS. And next week or next 2 weeks, we are going to send that one to the JHS schools. Every year we do that.
Is it possible you can do it before they are placed? Because I realized parents were asking questions now and they didn't have the now answers.
Well, maybe every parent will have, as at now, the very moment we release the placement, will have access to his or her worst placement.
What happened to the young girl? Because we spoke to this young girl at Wesley Girls who was placed on the paper
at Wesley Girls. Yeah.
And then the next minute it had changed to Agri Memorial. What happens in an instance like that?
That one needs to be brought to our notice. We need to investigate if really it is true. Because we have situations where, you see, when we finish with the placement, we give parents the opportunity to test at the comfort of your bedroom, wherever you are. Use your mobile phone. Now, smartphones are there. Test to know the school you've been placed in. That one, we do it, I think, 2 weeks before we send the report to the schools, so that you and I can prepare financially, psychologically, emotionally for the schools we are going in. At that particular moment, we have people who, when they get the text message, the response, some of them edit to suit their own. We are in a technological age.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Some of them would edit.
Edit. If you say, it will tell you, congratulations, Mama V, you have been placed in 3 Town Senior High School. You know 3 Town Senior High School?
That's a real school?
That's a real school. You've never heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Mama V, congratulations. You'll be placed in 3 Town Senior High Schools in the Volta region.
Okay.
A candidate who may not like that school can easily edit by forwarding it to somebody. Congratulations, Mama, we've been placed in Achimota Senior High School. Just replace the Achimota School. But we always have the back end where we can always check for any candidate. we have it. Even our placement forms that candidates print and take to the senior high schools, people scan it. But we always have security features in them. So whenever it happens like that, that is why we give the heads, the senior high schools, copies before you, the candidate, will even get there. So when you get there, they just cross-check with what they have. And if it matches with what they have, they go ahead and give you the admission.
So this mop-up exercise, that's how you call this last-minute exercise that you're doing. How is it going? Are people really coming forward to be placed in schools that they didn't?
People are really coming forward. And that is what we do every year. You see, the mop-up involves two, maybe three major situations. One, we do mop-up for those who may have health issues after we've done placement. The mop-up simply means that we are changing your school from A to B.
Because
that is what we do.
Because the A school didn't take me. That place is full.
No, not that. Because, one, you may have a health issue. You may have chosen a school and you've been given it. But now you may have a health issue that will demand you being moved from that school A to school B so that you have constant access to your medical facility or your doctor. You know, St. Mary's Ebenezer Senior High School is closer to Kolebu. A candidate may be placed in, might have chosen St. Louis, Kumasi, and have been placed there. But because of the health situation, she needs to be closer to Kolebu. Such a situation, if we get the report, we easily move you to any of the schools there so that you can have constant. That is one of it. Another situation is where the parents can be transferred within this period to another place, or from one region to another, or from one district to another. When it happens like that, we will consider moving you. Another situation could be where a candidate has been posted or chose a boarding school and has been posted there, but situation now demand that he or she be given a day school closer to his or her house. We consider those things. These are the three major issues we are considering in the mop-up exercise.
I've got a message here from Kwame Abrant here, who says, I think better mechanisms must be put in place for placing good performing students into their first choice schools, because it challenges them to study hard to get their first choice school. If not, then we are seriously discouraging students from studying.
It's a very good question. Let me respond quickly. That is why we always keep on saying, we know the number of candidates that scored aggregate 6. Even if we should put all of them in their first choice schools, each school will be admitting over 2,000 candidates. And you can imagine, can a school like St. Mary's, can a school like Achimota admit 2,000 candidates within the first year? Definitely there will be a ceiling. Definitely there will be people who will lose out because they cannot compete. There will be people with about 10 people who have grade 6, and the school can admit only 5. How will you determine the 5 people out of the 10? This is a question you and I will have to answer. That is the question we have answered ourselves. That is why we are saying, if we have grade 1, the grade 1 are always in ranges. We have 90 getting grade 1, we have 92 getting grade 1. In this situation, in the exams, which one of them have done better? Definitely 92 over 100 is a far better mark than 90. But on the grade, because they are in ranges, the two of them will have grade 1. How do you do it? That is why we go into the raw marks. That is the best way now, unless we can come out with any other way that anybody who get grade 6 or a grade 6 should at all costs be posted to the first choice school. And how many first choice schools do we have in the country? Are you willing to go to this particular school in your village or in your community? Everybody wants to go to the already established schools. How many can they admit? Even academically, at the end of the WASI, I'm telling you there are schools that do better than the so-called schools we already know.
This one is from Prosper Akulia, who says, Mamavi, please ask him why their system is porous, that the third party, after receiving the message, is able to edit.
Mamavi, it is not our system that is porous. If you test to the short code and you receive the message, it's like you sending a message to me. If you send a message to me, I can edit that message and forward to another third party and tell the third party that this is the message you sent to me.
But changing that message does not change what is on the system.
It doesn't change what we have. That is why you can always come for verification. That is why when you go to the school, when you edit that and go to the school will tell you your name is not on their list because the school always verify from our system. That is why we are always catching them. So it's not like you have access to our system, no.
So in the end, what did Wesley Girls do? The 200 extra that you gave them, were they able to absorb?
Thank God you brought this number up. We have never, and Mama B, I'm saying this when I'm challenging multimedia, we have never posted extra 200 to Wesley Girls. Never. The headmistress never said we have given her extra 200.
So what happened? I mean, why did they seem to have more than they could take?
It was your reporter that estimated by the number of students or parents who were there that 200 extra. The headmistress never said the computerized school selection placements that have given her extra 200. What we do is, before we do the placement every year, we meet the heads. The heads will bring to us the number of students they can admit. But when they do that, we don't just take that number on it. We do due diligence. We consider 2-3 different data alongside what they bring to us. You know, every year, some students will exit, as in the 3rd year batch. Those demos are with exams council, WAEC. We go to WAEC and take that figure. So school A, you brought us 5 students that you can admit those students this year. We will find out from exams council how many exited from your school. Realize maybe 6 or 7. Then we also go back and check how many did you admit last year. Last year you admitted 6, but 7 exited. But you are telling us now you will be able to admit 5. So we ask you why the changing or the difference in figures. Then you tell us, oh, my dormitory is this, my classroom is that. We send people out there to do independent verification. When the people come, they bring us the report, and based on that, we give you the numbers. And we will not, or we have not given any number to any school that we know the school cannot admit. Never.
So you are sitting in your office somewhere?
I'm not. I never said I'm sitting in my office somewhere.
I get it. I know that you send people to go and cross-check and everything. But I am the head of the institution.
Exactly.
Irrespective of what your men come to tell you, I am saying that I know my school, I know the conditions, and we can only take 10.
That is why we judge. We don't impose it. We judge. When you tell us 5, we do verification. 5 people, 2 for science, 2 for generals, 1 for business. So we come and find out only 2 chairs in science or 3 there. We find out. Then we ask, 7 exited. So the 7 spaces are there, but you are selling 5. Then we judge. We always reach a compromise before the data is sent out.
Do you know that some parents had to buy beds?
You see, if your word is posted to a school, that is why we have the PTA, Parents Teacher Association, and you know the contribution of PTA. There is no school that PTA don't support. It is not only government that support the school. Government alone can never support all the schools. So we have the contribution of the PTA, where PTA, so if you're a parent and you are supporting in terms of bed, it may be through the PTA. And PTAs are always, we go for PTA meeting, they always agree. Let's contribute this amount to support in the payment of maybe the buying of beds, the building of a classroom, a dormitory, or the acquisition of a bus.
So what specifically happened in the Wesley Girls situation? Did they still have a number that they couldn't take?
The headmistress didn't know all the students whose names were on the list. The headmistress is admitting them. Those people some people went there to seek admission for themselves because they thought they should have gotten the school per the grades they were having. Those were the parents your reporter met there. But those people with their names on the school list, the headmistress.
So Wesley Girls never had a number that they could not take?
The number we gave her.
Absorbed everything that you give them.
The number we gave her as at today that I'm talking to you. Yes.
Really?
Those people whose admission has not gone through are people who went there themselves
on their own to go in.
Admission.
What's this thing with the protocol list? The school has room to take some students by themselves?
You see, the admission is done between the Computerized School Selection Secretariat and the head of the school. That is why I'm telling you we judge. You see, we have the 30% allocation also. It is for the catchment area. The catchment area satisfies all the stakeholders. It could be the chief, it could be the opinion leaders there.
It could be PTA members.
It could be PTA members.
Okay.
It could be old students.
So that's the 30% that we hear all the time.
Satisfy all.
Okay, all right.
That is the
so when
situation.
is this final exercise going to end?
Normally, we do admission throughout the first term.
Okay.
Because you could have students who, because of one or two reasons, you're giving them admission, but they will not be able to report. Maybe 2-3 weeks, or maybe getting to the end of the term. That's where they can come. But because we don't want any child to end his or her education at the JHS level.
Is it true that you're doing a review exercise of the computerized program itself?
We do a review every year after the placement.
We'll still have the computer placing student next year. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed as of today.
Right. All right. We'll leave it here. I'm sure this conversation will continue,
Exactly.
but I thank you for your time. My guest, Kwesi Abankwanoche, Systems Administrator, Computer Placement School Program. A lot of people are looking for you because you're like the computer. They want to beat you up.
No,
Stay
I
with
have my boy there.
Stay with us. We've got talk coming up with Roland Walker. You'd love it.